It's really hard to get people to agree on anything at work, let alone which opportunities they should take forward. Everyone's got an opinion. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get them to agree in just a few minutes on the right way forward, as well as some advanced techniques which I'll be showing you at the end to do multidimensional prioritization. First of all, let's talk about why should we prioritize as a group. Well, we know that it's really hard to get people to agree. Everyone's got different KPIs or different goals at work, and they want to get different things done in the workplace during this year. On top of that, you've also got managers who want to make sure that their trusted lieutenants are always in the mix. When people come to a workshop, when people come to a discussion, they need to feel like they've been heard. They need to feel like their point of view has been taken account of. And there is nothing better than at the end of a workshop when there is a path forward. So the technique I'm about to share with you is really for online facilitation. This is where it really starts to sing. You can do it on paper though, with post-it notes and sticky dots or different colored pens if you want to, but it is much slower that way and you're not going to get that same wow factor. I don't want to discourage you though. If you do have an in-person workshop that's planned, keep using this technique. It's always very valuable. It's just a little bit slower. It's much more work for you as the facilitator, and you're not going to get that wow factor. So what I'm talking about here is specifically the point in the workshop where you've already done the work to understand what the ideas are. How can they help us? And then you would have talked about them. Everyone would have understood what's on the sticky notes, and then you would have potentially gotten rid of duplicates, things that are very similar to each other. Multi-axis prioritization techniques. This is where you can get to a 2x2. So for example, impact versus effort, or it could be distance versus cost, or it could be any two axes that you can think of. You can also do 3-dimensional. In fact, I'm going to show you how you can do up to 6 dimensions very easily, and maybe even a 7th if you want to do a little bit more work using tools like Miro or Mural. These are online whiteboards that make running workshops really, really easy and get you to that point much faster. By the time you get to this point in the workshop, you will have already brainstormed. You will have already grouped them up. You will have already deduplicated. That means taking away ideas that are basically the same. This is very important, this step, because you're about to do voting. You're about to ask a group of people, it might be 20 people, it might be 80, it might be 100, it doesn't really matter, to vote on things. And what you don't want to have is splitting votes. You don't want to have an idea and an idea next to it that's almost the same and they get half the votes each, because what that does is then it will drop down, both of them will drop down the priority order unnecessarily or incorrectly. You need to choose which axes you're going to do. So like I said, it might be distance versus time, or it might be cost versus impact, or it might be feasibility versus desire. That you can choose any two axes you want. In fact, it can be lots of fun to sort of experiment and think about which axes do we actually want to use. Maybe choosing something that people haven't used before can get them to switch on a different part of their brain and prioritize things in a new way. So once you've introduced your two axes to them, whether it's, I'm going to use the example here of we're going on holiday with my family. It's my wife and my kids, but I might also be inviting my sister and her kids. Who knows, right? We're going to see. We're going to see if we can come to a mutual agreement about where we could go. And we've got all these different places on the board, and we're thinking, okay, do we want to go to Europe or to Japan or just stay here locally in Australia? Maybe we even want to go on a driving trip. We've all got a budget. We're going to look at distance versus cost. In this scenario, imagine that my sister and her children live somewhere else from there. They don't live in the same city. And so we've got different ideas about what distance means, right? So this is where the voting comes in. So we've got distance versus cost. So we'll say she might live in Japan and I live in Australia, and we're thinking about where do we want to go. So for her to go to South Korea would be much closer than for me. Likewise, for me to go to Bali would be very easy. So we're doing distance versus cost, and we're going to be voting on the individual items. Now, the trick here is not to try to do two things at once. The trick is to do everything in a stepped out way so that each axis can be treated individually. You don't want people to mix things up in their mind around trying to answer two questions at once. One question at a time. Which of these is furthest away from you? One vote if it seems far away for you. If it's easy to get to, no votes, right? So we're going to be prioritizing by what's harder to get to, right? And then once you've got those numbers, you can flip your axis if you want to. That doesn't really matter. The point is that you're getting an order, right? So we're trying to do a rank of everything in this list. It doesn't matter which order, because you can change the direction of your axis when you plot them. But what matters is that you have an order. So choose. So we do that vote and we see that we have a priority order. The next vote is, so we have to make a new vote, a new axis, as I'm using here in Mural. The next axis is cost. So then we say, all right, how much will it cost to get there? In some cases, something is very close and I can walk there or I can drive there. But that's going to be different for each person, given they're coming from different directions and different areas. Okay, so now we know what is easy to get to and what's cheap to get to. That's fine. There's some flight deals on for me. That one's close for you to drive to. Yep, that one's equidistance and equicost for both of us. That's probably a good option. That's fair. So the question is, how do you represent that on your plot? And this is where you get to some really interesting ways of facilitating. Remember, these techniques work well for really big groups that can't have a simple conversation. So between me and my sister in this example, I can easily just have a phone conversation and work it out in 5 minutes. But when you've got 20 or 30 people from different departments, different job levels, different levels of experience, using this voting technique is really going to make it easy for you. So how do you plot it? You've got cost and you've got distance. All right, that's pretty easy. So we've got a 2x2 axis, and we've got some things that are falling into our top quadrant, which look like the best ones to go for. We've also got things in the bottom quadrant, which are hard to get to and maybe a bit pricey. Okay, but what about now? We've got all these different options. Which ones do we enjoy the most? Which ones excite us the most? This is probably the answer that we really want to get to, right? So we want to do a third vote, which tells us what we are most looking forward to. So we could call that vote, a third axis, a third dimension. You can call that enjoyment or excitement. Which ones are we most excited to do? Click, 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 click. Do your votes. Suddenly you have your third axis. Now, let's change the game by introducing our desire factor, right? Which ones are we most excited by? And in this case, I'm going to make the post-it notes bigger if they are more desirable and smaller if they are less desirable. I've chosen that mechanism because if you think about the readability of this chart, the ones that show up the most should be the ones that we are most interested in talking about. Remember, the point of this exercise is to get you to a stage where you can have a conversation where you've got a very short list which we all agree on. Right? It's a short list we all agree on. That's super important, and that's the whole point of this exercise. Okay, so we've got the short list, we all agree on it, and we can see which ones are high cost, low cost. We can see which ones are easy to get to, hard to get to, and we can see the ones we're most excited about. And so now we have two options which we are really interested in. So that's that exercise. Imagine doing that with 30 or 40 people where they all decide where they want to go. Now, it doesn't have to be a captain's call. Everyone's had a say. Everyone's ideas have been in the mix. We've considered all of them and we've chosen as a group. All right, so an advanced technique, and this will depend on what you want to do. Now, a word of warning. The more axes you add, the harder it is to do, and the longer it will take you to get to the answer. That being said, that might be something you want to add on. Using a tool like Miro or Mural, there are many different ways that you can indicate something different about an idea. You might use color, size. You can use the shape of the object. You can give it an outline. You can also use what I've shown you already, the X position and the Y position on your 2x2. If you wanted to go even further than that, you could add tags, right? So there is probably an unlimited number of axes that you can add, given that you've got those tags, but visually it's not going to be very easy to see, and you potentially don't want to go down that path because it becomes confusing. My recommendation is probably, for most exercises, 3 or 4 is the maximum. But really, like I said, depending on what your question is, you may want to go further. So back to my example about going on holiday, let's add a fourth axis to this. So we've said which one's furthest to get to, which ones can we afford, which ones are we most excited about. The next one is which ones can we get a visa for, which countries are going to let us in. Okay, so that you could add as a fourth dimension by putting a key line around it, so representing that. So again, with this one, this becomes a binary conversation. It's no longer a vote per se. So it would be, you'd go through all the ideas that have been prioritized to that point and say, which of these can I actually get into? If you were going to a large group and you said, I don't mind in this scenario, right? I don't mind if not everyone can come. Then you could use a vote, because you'd be going for the one that most people like, noting that not everyone would be able to come. Now we have what's furthest away, what costs the most, which ones do we want to go to the most, and which countries are going to let us in. From here, we can probably choose where are we going on holiday. So these multi-dimensional prioritization techniques, they're really useful because, just to recap, they give you the opportunity to get a large group of people agreeing very, very quickly. Everyone feels like they're heard. They've all been in the brainstorm. They've all discussed their ideas. They've grouped them up. They've deduplicated them. They've voted on multiple axes. You've gone through a lot of steps, maybe 9 or 10 steps. But now within the space of an hour, from start to finish, you've got people to come in, brainstorm, talk about their ideas, and then within about 2 or 3 minutes, you've given them a prioritized list. This is a super exciting, super satisfying experience for people when they get there. I hope this made sense and you can give it a go. Start with 2 axes. Once you're confident with that, move to more. The facilitation techniques that go with this will come to you after you've practiced a little bit. Thank you so much for listening and getting this far. If you like this video, consider sending it to a friend. Also, if you do like this content, you might like other content I make. Like my book, have a look on the Amazon link in the description below, and please buy it.